Yes guys, just here back with another video, and today for the Bitcoin price we are consolidating in the middle of the weekend around that 62.6k level. So you can see that we're getting closer and closer towards Monday open, and we have a lot to cover today. So let's get straight away in towards the analysis. And DXY is obviously not trading at the minute. However, you can see we are approaching that 200 SMA there on the daily time frame, your parallel channel on the monthly time frame, which is very significant, and there's a downsloping trend line there too. So that's an area to watch on Monday open to see if we start floating towards that area where we may have a big rejection, which will make it a lot easier for us to actually see the Bitcoin price appreciate. And just looking at this CME chart for Bitcoin, we close around 63.2, so it's looking like we can start heading towards that area closer to the end of Sunday, which is today, or at the start of Monday. So we'll see if there's a gap that's formed. We have a minor gap down here at 54. However, I'll view as insignificant. The probabilities of that actually getting filled is a lot lower. So yeah, we'll just bear it in mind. We have a marked out, and there is a probability that it can be filled. However, I think it's very low at this point. The metrics are pointing upwards, so I think the probabilities are really low of this actually getting filled. The metrics are pointing towards Bitcoin actually breaking out anytime from now. So I'll just leave it on the chart. It's possible that we can come down and fill it at whatever point. However, I think that it's extremely low looking at what price is telling us right now. So having a look at this chart over here, looks very messy. However, I'll break it down for you guys. So we have our yellow horizontal rays, which are marked out, and these are the significance levels that we covered in the past few update videos. And just zooming in, you can see that we have three moving averages. So we have two exponential moving averages, your 9 and 18 on the daily time frame, and then we have a 21-week exponential moving average too. And you can see your 9 and 18, as mentioned on the last video, we have started to angle ourselves upwards a little bit. So is the 21 that's about to angle up, which provides significant support on any pullbacks, which will be buying opportunities. And we have broken that downsloping trend that we actually marked out as well. So that's another point for the bulls. We have a double bottom W formation pattern, and we did actually hit our previous month's mid and previous week's low. So we wicked it and just front run or just grabbed the liquidity below there, and immediately we saw a good response, creating a short-term higher high on the shorter time frame over here. So we're looking for us to form maybe a higher low, maybe wick down into those EMAs and continue the momentum upwards and sweep up previous month's high and previous week's high too. Also to mention, we do have a bull moon on the horizon, which is literally about to form in this coming week too, I think around Wednesday or Thursday. So it's very important to actually watch what price is telling us, and the probabilities for the bulls to start squeezing price higher is a lot more higher or probable once you do have a bull moon, as you can see in the previous examples. Now, of course, you can't trade off of these on its own. You have to have different technical reasons why you're looking for long. So we just take it with a pinch of salt, but backtesting it has a decent win rate. So looking at this falling wedge pattern, we looked at this on the last video, and you can see that we've broken out perfectly with our EMAs below our support. We have this green zone, which is massive support for us. So any pullbacks into there is a massive buy opportunity. We still have our 1 to 10 risk reward ratio trade on that higher low that we spoke about. And our move stops to break even at this point to just eliminate risk in case we do start to flush down and actually fill that CME gap. As everything in trading is probabilities, nothing's off the table, so you always have to look at a bull and bear case. But I do expect us to actually start moving towards our previous month's high, previous week's high too. So as you can see here on the 12-hourly time frame, we have our momentum indicators, our stochastic RSI and our relative strength index RSI, and you can see that price created a short-term lower low. However, your momentum oscillators have created a higher low, which just indicates momentum is shifting towards the bull side. The bulls are trying to push price higher, and you may see a response as soon as in the next 24 hours. So into the next open, where you get that immediate response from the bulls to just continue to push price higher. So you can see here we have a W formation pattern, which is a bullish bias pattern. And once you do start to break out, you can actually chart these on your momentum oscillators, especially the RSI, as it does play out quite a lot of the time. And you can see that you're retesting a neckline, and you should be able to see a similar scenario on the price chart for the short term. And we may actually start squeezing towards that 68k price target, and that actually helps us to make that higher high that we talked about just a few minutes ago, to actually come back, test that support, and then start to move a lot higher. So as you can see here, we have our relevant levels marked out with a 200-day SMA, and you can see we're at resistance right now. So it's important to actually watch what happens, as we can get a mini pullback here, retest this trend, and continue our momentum a lot higher. And the horizontal red line, if I do take the volume profile from the start of the range to where we are now, you can see it lines up perfectly with that level. So if I were to delete that level here, you can see that's where your fixed volume profile point of control is. And if I remove that now, so I put the line back and I remove the volume profile, that's where I've marked out. So 63,900 is a level to watch. If we could start to squeeze above that, I expect a big move and a higher high in play. So if you are enjoying the video, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and also make sure to follow my Twitter for up-to-date analysis and information for the Bitcoin price, as I am starting to post on Twitter now. So make sure to do that if you are enjoying. Now let's get back into the analysis. And you can see here on the 6-hourly time frame, you have your S&P 500 against Bitcoin, and your S&P 500 is creating higher highs and even all-time highs, whilst Bitcoin is trending down in the short term. So it looks like we do have a divergence, and even on the higher time frames, Bitcoin is still trending down and consolidating sideways and choppy. However, your S&P 500 and your stocks are absolutely rallying, gold too, rallying at all-time highs. So I do expect a catch-up from Bitcoin to get to where the S&P is in terms of sentiment, in terms of momentum too. So that's something to be watching out for in the higher time frames, and also in the imminent short term when you are trading. So just to delve deeper into the charts and just break down what we're seeing here, you can see I've marked out a Wyckoff schematic, which I did post on Twitter if you want to look at that again and have that chart saved. And you can see here that we're currently at the last point of strength, and that's why I formulated a higher low scenario when I was looking at this chart over here, and I was looking for us to actually wick down into the previous month's mid, previous week's low, and actually hold that level as a higher low, last point of strength, before we start actually moving up to the range high, and then creating a sign of strength where we do have that massive breakout to, you know, your 100k plus regions. So you can see here we do have an inverse head and shoulders as well in play. So it comes from all the way, let me get that date for you guys. So 6th of June, you created your left shoulder, you have your head, you have your right shoulder, and you're currently retesting a neckline. You have a W formation pattern on the lower time frame. This is a higher low scenario, holding your previous month's mid, your previous week's low, and you're looking for a squeeze to $71,000 before you start to actually confirm that support and have your sign of strength. And then you expect Bitcoin to start catching up to the S&P and your other risk on assets. So that scenario would be phase D, and that may be anticipation of the elections. So you typically see risk on assets doing well as you creep up to the elections. So you know now that it's less than 30 days to our actual elections for the USA. So it's looking like we may start actually squeezing up right now. It's only a matter of time whether we retest 62, retest 61, wherever we go. It looks like that we're definitely going to end up a lot higher than 71 by the time we have our elections, and we may have a little bit of a sell or lose event. However, on higher time frames, I do expect a big explosion up. And as you can see here, guys, I've plotted the USDT market cap against Bitcoin here on the 3-day time frame, and you can see every time we were in a choppy environment in a range, for example 2023 around this time too, and the Tether market cap was going up, meaning that they were minting more Tether onto the market, you can see that Bitcoin is just going exponential after you break out from the range highs. So it looks like that's happening again. You can see during your Bitcoin ETF times, when Bitcoin was coming down a little bit and chopping, and then Tether market cap was increasing exponentially shortly after, you got that massive breakout to even new highs for Bitcoin. And then you can see here we've had a way bigger correction or consolidation, and even a consolidation can be a form of a correction, but just punished by time. So you can see we've been ranging for a long time, and it looks like we are slightly trending down. So you could even use the trend line to actually track that. And you can see once we do start to break this level here, we will have a catch up to the trajectory of the Tether market cap and start ripping higher, as the debasement of USDT allows Bitcoin to actually move up higher. It's kind of like the dollar against Bitcoin, or the dollar against your risk assets, but in our little crypto land. So looking at the on-chain data, you have majority of liquidity to the upside. We have a little bit below us around 61,600, so around 62k. So if we do come down there, that's a major buy the dip opportunity. You'll be retesting your 9 and 18 and your 21-week exponential moving averages. So that would be definitely a nice buy the dip opportunity if you do get that, and a nice trade with stops below, I'd say 61k. And you can see here you have your liquidation map, and your liquidations to the downside is only maximum around 4 million. However, the short liquidations to the upside is upwards of 350 to 400 million. So it looks like on the daily time frame for the liquidation heat map, majority are short. So you can see up here your 24-hour long to short ratio is still in the favors of the shorts, so they're taking on more short positions, and that's even shown here by the funding rates. There's no excessive buy-in, there's no froth in the market. Your weak hands have been shaken out, you have low leverage, there's no excess liquidity to the downside to be taken. So it looks like we are in the right environment for us to actually start squeezing upwards anytime from now. And you can see here we have our crypto fear and greed index, and we're on the neutral zone right now. So people don't really know where to go. You've just come off your fear zone. So it looks like we're in the right environment to actually start squeezing anytime from now. So looking at this chart, we do have a massive cup and handle in play, and you have your measured move taken from the bottom of the cup to your neckline of the cup, and then you take that to your breakout from that neckline here, and you can see it lines up exactly with this bar chart pattern here. And you can see we're in a bull flag at the minute, and I expect to see something just like this. So guys, be accumulating and be ready for that breakout, and I would not be short in the Bitcoin price, as definitely we are days away from something like this actually happening. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like the video, share the video, bit of a shorter one just based on price today, and I'll see you guys in another update video very soon. Goodbye.